I'm Jon Weidman. This is Tweed TV. We're here today with Jon Steinberg, president of BuzzFeed. Jon, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So Jon, just briefly to kick us off, what is BuzzFeed?
BuzzFeed is the leading social publisher. We have about 27 million people a month coming to our site looking for content to share on the social web, and we work with brands who act as publishers to create content that they want to get shared as well.
You guys describe yourselves as having the hottest, most social content on the web. What exactly does that mean?
We have this enormous monitoring network where we have active relationships with sites like Us Weekly, Time, HuffPost, where we look at every piece of content on their site through active tracking code and identify whatever the most viral, the most shared content is, and we trigger portions of that content onto our site. We also have an editorial team under Ben Smith, formerly of Politico, that's focused on writing content to be shared. We don't focus on SEO, we don't focus on any other way of getting content out there other than creating great reporting that people want to share and pass along to their friends and colleagues.
What are brands typically looking for out of a partnership with BuzzFeed?
Brands who come to us are looking for earned media and they're looking for sharing. And ideally they're looking for it into the proportion that makes sense for their product. So a high-end product that has a small target audience is looking for a small amount of sharing, a small amount of word of mouth to the right people. A broader CPG brand might be looking for content that's going to get as shared and as viral as possible, at the same time conveying the message that they want to get across. Something that's just viral that has nothing to do with the brand is of little or no value. Something which is perfectly on message but not shareable and doesn't go anywhere is sort of equally irrelevant. So it really is kind of figuring out how you get the tree to fall in the forest with just the right amount of noise.
So you guys tend to have a lot of diversity in your content. You've got the more serious political, journalistic content, and then you have, lists of hilarious animals and stuff like that. What do you think allows you to have that type of diversity in the content that you post?
Well, we didn't really create that. I mean, the Facebook news feed and the Twitter feed really transformed the way that people get content. Everybody gets their content now intermingled in a feed, and we built BuzzFeed the same way. People consume all different kinds of content in the course of their day. Somebody who loves hard-hitting political coverage probably also loves cute animal posts, and there's no reason, just because the legacy publishers divide things into rigid areas, that we should be that way. And there's no reason why we should limit ourselves in terms of social publishing to set categories. Our sole criteria for what we create is it shareable? And that's the sole force that we use to govern how we run the site.
So what are the next steps in terms of brand partnerships with BuzzFeed?
I think the next step for BuzzFeed in terms of branded content is taking the techniques that we're finding that are working well on our site and expanding them even more into things that we do off-site with the brands, whether it's through looking at a successful post on BuzzFeed and promoting that into a sponsored story and optimizing it into Facebook, or finding new ways to take that content and inject it in a native-looking fashion into other social formats, into special formats that we come up with publishers, or looking to find ways to put true content into these liquid pools of banner advertising so that it doesn't look like a banner, doesn't act like a banner, but acts like a content unit. Really taking what we found to be successful on BuzzFeed and expanding it off-site is really the challenge for us over the next couple of years.
Mr. Steinberg, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it. BuzzFeed is a really exciting platform, and we're really looking forward to seeing where it's going.
Thanks a lot.